All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music in real time for real people just like you right there and just like me right here. So, Sammy Hagar has decided to kind of walk back or attempt to walk back stuff that's already printed out there. The stuff that's in his book regarding Eddie Van Halen. He says, uh, I wasn't lying, but if I wrote the book today, I would only put the good of Eddie Van Halen in the book, which is interesting. The book, of course, is called Red, My Uncensored Life in Rock. It's something I need to get and read. Believe it or not, I haven't read that book, and it's on my to-do list. Um, but he goes on to say, look, I apologize from the bottom of my heart for exposing his dark side to where I don't think anyone wants to hear that now. And unfortunately, it's in the book. He goes on, and it's true. It's all true. It's not like I have to say, oh, I was lying. If I wrote the book today, I would only put the good of Eddie Van Halen in there because he was such a brilliant, genius guitar player and such a great friend and a great partner until everything went wrong, like everything else. Now, from what I'm told, and I've been told recently I need to go read the book and I'll understand more as to what happened with Ed and Sammy. I think here's the deal. Ed's gone, so nobody wants to dwell on the negative. People are saying, "Look, he's a great guitar player. Just leave it alone. Don't talk about this stuff anymore." Van Halen was a very dysfunctional band for a very long time. Apparently, when Sammy walked in to meet those guys for the first time, it was as if they had been partying for a week straight. And Sammy came prepared to work, and these guys were trying to peel themselves off the floor, basically. Now, I think people need to know that stuff. Nobody's gonna argue that made Ed a bad guitarist, right? I would say this though: you get a clean, sober Eddie Van Halen, a healthy Eddie Van Halen playing guitar, and my guess is it probably would be spectacular. I know sometimes people say, you ingest certain things and your abilities increase. And I don't know about guitar playing. Although rock musicians over the years apparently have been, doing this stuff for a long time, and they have to get on stage and try to perform. And well, quite honestly, folks, I don't know how. Look, music is hard. I don't play music. I don't pretend to play music. I often get, well, you don't know how to sing. You don't know why does your opinion matter? Well, because I don't do this stuff doesn't mean I can't have an opinion. My point being here is that if you're sober, if you're clean, you're probably going to be a more effective musician. Case in point would be Joe Walsh, right? Joe Walsh, clean and sober, took like 10 years off of his age once he sobered up. I mean, he was like 60 years old and he looked like he was 40. When he was 40, he looked like he was 60. I mean, the guy just completely changed, and you could tell there was a joy and a spirit in his life, and he could now remember what he was doing. He likes to make all these jokes about the past, but quite honestly, if you're a guitarist and you're a good guitarist, you probably are going to be more effective if you're not, in the dark side or on the dark side, as Sammy likes to say. Here's the bottom line with what Sammy Hagar is trying to do here. He knows this is a delicate topic. He knows this is a difficult topic because he blasted Ed in the book. He just destroyed Eddie Van Halen in this book. And he's not apologizing for that, but yet he is kind of apologizing for it. So he's doing both things here, which if you're Sammy Hagar and you're a truth teller, which Sammy always has been, just say, look, I said these things, they were true. I wish they weren't true, but they're going to continue to be true. And We all have to move on. We just have to recognize how great Ed was as a guitar player. I mean, if you're writing a book now, you've buried the hatchet. You had uh, apparently a relationship with Eddie Van Halen toward the end of his life. So it's easier for you now to forgive him than it would have been if that didn't happen. And, only fate brought those two men together again toward the end of Ed's life. And I think it was probably more important for Sammy Hagar than even for Eddie Van Halen. Um, it's good though, because I think Sammy cares. Sammy is a life force. He's a guy who's got lots of energy, lots of ideas, and he's just never, ever going to stop. But at the end of the day, people have to recognize that Eddie Van Halen, hard living, destructive lifestyle, amazing guitarist. He might have been like the Jim Morrison of guitar players. And I think people have to accept that and understand that there are two sides to every story. And in this case, the story should not be rewritten. And I don't think Sammy Hagar needs to apologize. I think what we all have to do is just recognize that Ed was kind of a tortured genius, and he had a lot of self-inflicted issues that unfortunately, I believe, culminated in his early departure from planet Earth. But again, doesn't diminish his guitar playing skills, his ability to do things that no one else ever did. And that's the thing. I mean, Jim Morrison, kind of the same way, wrote amazing lyrics and did all these amazing things. And he was only 27 years old when he passed away. Eddie Van Halen was 65. So, in any event, I think Sam doesn't have to apologize. I understand why he's doing it. And I'm sure, if he could, he would snatch up all those books and rewrite them. But I think I'm going to go order my copy before that happens.